All right, guys, welcome back. Episode 2. Sorry about the. How long has it even been? Like a month?
2 weeks.
3 weeks.
Two? No way. How? I don't know. Who ended up hitting their picks last week? I know me and James. James had no. You had the Packers money line that day, James.
Hold on, I think I have it somewhere. I'll get it. Hold on.
James had Packers money line. I think they lost by 7.
I had David had Eagles +3. I had Eagles +3. James had Packers.
No,
Chris had Packers.
no, that definitely wasn't it. That's wrong. The spread on the game was 6.5.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying it says here 3.
Either way, we hit it. Either way, we hit it because they won
Yeah, I
by
think
7.
Mike and David hit. Me and James missed. So
That
James
game was a crazy game, by the way. I know we're going back
it was
like
months ago, so it's moving on.
3 weeks at this point, but like they didn't even throw the ball much, and they put up 70 points.
Big Aaron Jones did, I think, or AJ Dillon. I don't even remember. All right, I don't know. Let's jump into the first topic. You want to just get a little curveball here? Let's get David's World Cup
Why?
crap out of the way here.
Well, I
David's
think-
World Cup minute.
All right, start the timer. Is there
All
a
right.
timer?
Hold on. I
Get
got
this
you.
over with.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
David, ready? Set. Go.
So the semifinal, not the semifinal, the third place game actually went on this morning. I'm not really sure what the result of that game was because I didn't watch it. But a couple weeks ago, the Netherlands and U.S. played a hard-fought game in the first game of the round of 16. U.S. had a lot of chances. I don't think Pulisic's the guy. By the way, I just don't think he's him. I think we need to find somebody else. The Netherlands won 3-1. Pretty much anytime they wanted to score a goal, they did. Messi and Mbappe are in the finals tomorrow at 10 a.m. I will probably not watch that game because I'm going to the Jet game. But they both play for the same team, PSG. Guess who owns the PSG? The Emir of Qatar, who is hosting the World Cup. So World Cup 2022 is rigged. And you could bet your dollar that we're going to rig the 2026 World Cup so that Team USA brings it home.
And that
That's
was
right.
David's World Cup minute, brought to you by nobody.
That was bald.
All right, let's get into the podcast now.
All right. What do we have first up? Jets quarterback tomorrow.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson.
Can we get James out of the way? Just get him out.
Oh, I also have to apologize, Scott. We had a guest supposed to be here. I don't know why he's not here.
He's a flake. He's a flake. He flaked on us. He's a supporter, but he quote said, "Nah, I'm good." So
Wow.
I gotta throw this out here, and this is not what I'm gonna say, but Croatia won third place in the World Cup this morning.
go ahead.
Okay.
2-1 over Morocco. But
How do you not know that?
I think
You're the one who wants to do this damn minute every single time.
Well, it's over now. So
I've been busy.
All right.
So I'm much more confident in the Jets' ability to make the playoffs with Zach Wilson under center than Mike White.
well, when Zach balls out versus the Lions tomorrow, because they have
What's your sweatshirt say?
Zach has a opportunity to.
It says Mike F and White. That's what it says.
Yeah, this is what Zach should wear to the game tomorrow. By the way, he should wear this.
I like
This
Mike
should-
White.
to show Mike White's a great backup quarterback in this league. There's some guys who, when you put them in, you know you're going to get a good couple games, but they're not either they're injury prone, which Mike White has proven to be the last 2 years, or the league figures them out, which I don't think that's the case with Mike White. But the injury prone thing, best ability is availability. Zach Wilson has an opportunity here to do what he did in the last 4 games of last year, where he went interceptionless and played well against teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and even won a couple games there down the stretch. We have the Lions, who are a bad defense, the Seahawks, who are struggling. Who's the other game? The Jaguars, who are a bad team. Zach Wilson has to run off 3 wins in a row and solidify that he's the guy.
But what does that look like though? Is that game manager? Or is that actually balling?
So I think it's game manager, because for some odd reason, Mike LaFleur, who sucks as an offensive coordinator, just like his brother, he falls in love with the passing game when guys like Mike White and Joe Flacco are behind center. I'm pretty sure every single game they've started, we've thrown the ball more than 50 times. That's not a winning formula for our team. We're control the clock with the running game and then shut you down on defense. That's how we win. So I think that they'll go back to a more conservative offense with Zach under center just to protect him. And I think he will make the big throws because the Lions won't be able to bring pressure. Knock on wood, obviously, but they don't have the pass rush that some of these other teams. And I mean, Zach's 5-2. His only two losses are against the Patriots, who are one of the best pass rushes in the league this year. I've been talking a lot, so you guys could throw in your 2 cents.
I'm not gonna say I was happy when I saw Mike White was out, but I was definitely excited. I'm not gonna be able to watch the game tomorrow because I got work, but I'm excited for Zach. I think this is a big legacy game for him. I think he'll show up. I think the whole media thing, they already went on and said, "Oh, I'm not. I feel like we didn't let the defense down." Then the guy gets a bad rep. All right, I think he's a leader. I think he could lead a team, and I think it's going to show that on Sunday. And if he starts, hopefully next week, he's going to show it again. I'm not sure how long Mike White's out for, but I like it. I like the matchup versus the Lions, even though their defense has been better lately. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. And I'm excited for Zach Wilson, man. I really am. I think this is a big game for his legacy, and I'm excited for him. I think he's going to do great.
No, I'm a little biased. I wanted Mike White to. He was starting for me in fantasy this week. I'm going with Daniel Jones instead now.
Yep.
In the fantasy playoffs, but I'm not going to take Wilson. I wanted. Did you guys see what Richard Sherman said
Richard
about
Sherman's a
Mike
bum.
White?
He said it was a franchise
No,
quarterback.
what about that was wrong?
He was a franchise
If
quarterback.
Mike White was the second overall pick, the whole storylines would have been flipped, which I totally agree with. It's literally that's all Zach has to his name. Yes, yeah, sure, he's 5-2, but he's made big throws, like quick 7-yard slants for a big first down at the end of games, but you can't throw the. I don't think we should be throwing the ball 50 times, but definitely not 17. You drafted the guy because he has potential, sure, but you put Mike White in the second overall pick. Like I think both your narratives are totally flipped.
Well, Mike White
And I think that's all Zach carries to his name.
he wasn't the second overall pick though, so Zach was.
No.
So I mean,
Yeah.
he went second for a reason. Mike White, I like the guy. I don't want to bash him, but what do you go? Probably I don't even know if he was drafted. There's a
I
reason
just
for
think the
that.
narrative
Fifth
would be
round.
totally different. Mike, you want to put in any?
I don't know. I think like Zach Wilson's potential is up there, which is literally his only saving grace. When I went to the Jets Bears game and Mike White started, the players seemed to be more free about having Mike there and having this and that. So it really depends on how Zach is like. Maybe if he was humbled or not in practice, if he said, okay, I'm not that dude, that I think I am. Like this is not BYU where I'm going to go up against, not SEC or Big 10 or Big 12 talent or Pac-12 talent. I'm going to go up against people that are subdivision lower, and I can sling it if I wanted to. This is basically all those divisions combined and better. So I think that let's see what Zach does. I mean, if Zach balls out, and I think his stats he's got to be over 200 yards more than
You gotta win the game. Doesn't matter about
more
stats.
right. I mean, win the game, yes, but like you can throw it 17 times when you have Brees Hall running behind you, but when you have running backs that either fumble or like how Michael Carter fumbled for that, and that could be like the reason why we lost the game, right? Like you need to you have players, you have Garrett Wilson, you have Elijah Moore, you have Corey Davis or even Mims that can get the ball and score touchdowns.
Corey Davis is ruled out.
He's out. All right, cool. But
I mean, more men.
but I think honestly I don't know. I think Mike White is a serviceable, great backup. He's a low end starter, great backup.
Peak Jimmy G, right? Peak Jimmy G.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean
I
he's,
like that. I like that.
but that's what I think about him. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow, and we'll see what happens versus the Jags. I mean, they're like, don't sleep on the Lions and Jags. Like, Jay, you said that the Lions have a pass rush. They have Aiden Hutchinson, who can come off the edge. Was going to be double teamed, so he may be taken out. But um, he is a game wrecker. He's a game destroyer. And then the Jags coming in have playmakers too. So we'll see what happens.
One thing that I just read, probably like 20 minutes before we jumped on this, apparently there's a rumor that there's disagreement between Woody Johnson and Robert Saleh on how to handle the quarterback situation. And that's one of the reasons why Woody Johnson wants them to go with Zach Wilson, obviously, because they invested so much in him. And that's part of the reason why they couldn't find anyone to clear Mike White for this game. Do you guys put any credence into that? It sounds like something that the Jets would do, the old Jets would do. I don't know if those Jets are different than these Jets.
I mean, I think the only person that's from the old Jets is Woody Johnson. But that has to be by default because he's the um, owner. But I don't know.
Crazy.
There's more, in my opinion. This new regime has made more right choices than wrong choices in terms of draft, in terms of signings, in terms of this and that, and the overall percentage is less. So I'm gonna go with what the football people say than an owner this time. And
Mike
I,
White's just a dog.
well, yeah, he's a
Yeah,
dog.
he's
Right?
literally going to other doctors to see if he can get cleared. I don't think Zach Wilson would do that. And I think Mike White knows, like, if
I,
Zach plays good, I'm not starting again,
I,
which is
I,
ridiculous.
I genuinely think Zach got humbled. Zach got like he's never heard in football language like, oh, you can't do this because his talent has like dominated. But I think that let's see how he took this. If he took not the words from his father, like what are you doing? Like you know better than this, and took it to heart and actually prepared and actually did like the smaller things that players see at practice that we don't see as quote unquote media or fans per se, then we'll see what happens after that. Because if he understands that, like his talent could be through the roof, but the thing is his ceiling is very high, but his floor is very low. So it's a matter of
It's
him understanding.
kind of what you said you did to James the other night.
What?
Oh yeah,
To be humbled.
You blocked me once.
it was a nice block though, Chris. It was
Yeah,
a nice block.
and, okay. I'm
How
not
do you
going to
like
get
it?
into
Give me
that.
some credit, please. Can you give me some credit?
Yeah, but you going to tell him the whole
I didn't
thing?
say
One
anything.
of you's gotta step up for
Did
a
I
team.
did I say something or no?
Obviously, you
I
did.
don't know. He said it. He mentioned it before you got on, James.
Yeah.
But Mike's gonna take a big step this coming
Yeah,
season.
learn how to play in the 2-3 zone.
Maybe James can make a fucking shot.
Am I coaching?
Can
If
you?
you want, first game's the 22nd.
Player coach, David?
I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
the Islanders Rangers game that night, so I can't be there. But
All right. What was next? We had a little Giants talk.
Yeah, it's kind of the same talk. I'll start it off here. If the Giants are kind of in the same position as the Jets, what do we do with Daniel Jones? Is any of the free agent quarterbacks going to be on the list? I think they will end up with Daniel Jones. He's done enough to get like a serviceable year contract, like not a tag, but like a short term 2-year for 35 with a team option after one. Like to see how he does because I think they are gonna go receiver in the draft maybe because they have nobody. Like it'll really depend who they sign and what happens. They have no receivers. Like so I think they will end up with Daniel Jones as their quarterback, but we'll see. We'll see how he does throughout the stretch.
No, I agree. I think he's done enough for a year. Not a big extension. He's never had anything. I think he's kind of in a situation Darnold was in. Look at Darnold. Darnold's balling.
I mean,
Darnold
Darnold's
sucks.
balling.
No.
sucks.
No, I like
James,
him.
can you put a mask on?
Shut up, dude.
I don't want to catch COVID over the.
Shut up. I'll always believe in Sam.
I believe in Sam too. I like him.
Keep talking about this topic. I'm trying to verify something
I think he's
Go
before
left.
ahead. Go
before I
ahead.
say.
What are we talking about?
Just keep on talking about
I'm going.
Giants Bills.
I'm going Daniel Jones in fantasy this week over Zach Wilson. So
I think that's smart.
I
I'm also. It would be so
Listen,
funny if they tie again.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
After we talk about this, I did a playoff machine, so we'll go over that really quick.
You mean a playoff machine?
Okay, so here's my opinion on Daniel Jones. I think that he's this year, his first year with Brian Dable is almost identical to Josh Allen's first year with Brian Dable. He has through 3/4 of the season pretty much. There's 4 games left. He has 2,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. 2018-2019 season, Josh Allen's first season with Brian Dable, where he took the jump. 3,000 yards in 16 games, 20 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. So very similar. The completion percentage is also similar, 58% for what's his name, Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and what is it for Jones? Jones is actually better, 66%. So basically, what Dayball does, if you've watched this season and you watch that season from Josh Allen, is he makes it very simple for the quarterback. He puts in a lot of runs because they're big physical guys who could run over a defensive player, and then makes easy throws. And then as the season goes on, as the quarterback gets a grasp of the offense, he opens it up. So that's what we're seeing with Daniel Jones. And I think that next year he could, if he does get that 1 year deal, to a 1 year prove it deal because they declined his 5th year option, I think he'll make a jump similar to Josh Allen's jump in 2020, where
Do you
he
think?
became an MVP candidate.
Do you think they re-sign Barkley,
Yeah, I think you need to.
or is he getting tagged?
I could
Probably
see
get
a tag
tagged.
situation.
I would tag him. I would
Yeah, I mean he's a running back with an injury history, so tags are probably something.
I try to trade Barkley. If I'm being honest with you.
No, James, you said that you would tag him.
What do you mean franchise tag?
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
No, that's not funny. We should.
I'm
I
just
said this last time. We should keep like a tally of all the unfunny jokes that David and Mike make. So
I
that's
didn't
like
make
one.
any.
You made one
Dave,
last time. That was horrible.
I think David's hilarious.
Okay. Well,
Could you guys see my screen?
you do.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
So this is the playoff machine I went through. I did a lot of research. You could see the Bills and Eagles obviously hold on to their number 1 seeds. Jets sneak in at 10-7 just because of the Patriots schedule. I actually do have the Giants and Commanders tying again tomorrow, so they both get in at 8-7.
Wait,
What's the score you have on that game? Just curious.
Probably something that's never happened before, like
11 to
19-19.
11.
11-11 would be cool, but I think it's going to be a little higher score. I think 19-19.
That game's gonna be a dogfight.
Yeah.
How about
If they tie, that.
how about right now, David? If you can leave that up, what? Let's make our early Super Bowl predictions right now.
I'll go first.
All right, go ahead.
Basing off this,
Yep.
every bone in my body wants to say Jets, but obviously they're losing to the Chiefs. If this is the case, I like the Bengals a lot. I think they're playing good football right now. And give me the Cowboys. I mean, those guys are just know how to play. I don't see a hole on that team. Maybe a receiver, but
What
they
a
just signed
smart guy
T.Y.
you
You
are.
just traded Tony Pollard.
What a New York guy you are, James.
I like Dallas.
Chris, go ahead.
I would have said honestly, I would have said the Niners, but I don't think with Brock's he's been good, but I think with Jimmy G they definitely get to the Super Bowl. Honestly, I like the Bills this year. Bills or Bengals? I'd say from this list. I
Choose.
think the Vikings are currently getting
Whopped.
whopped by the Colts.
Exposed.
Um, I would say Bengals or Bills from this list.
So choose one. These are we're doing picks.
Oh, we're doing picks.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take the front runner. Come back to me. Go,
Yeah.
David.
David, go ahead.
I'm going for a three-peat. It's the third time they would meet in a Super Bowl. Bengals and 49ers. I think that Christian McCaffrey completely changed the math of defending against that offense. And to be honest with you, if Kyle Shanahan didn't get in his own way, he could have 2 or 3 Super Bowls combined as a coordinator or coach. If he just runs his offense in the second half of 2 of those Super Bowls, he's a champion by now. I do think Brock Purdy gives them an extra dimension. Like if you guys watch the game on Thursday night, he his legs extended the game and iced it against the Seahawks. So he just gives them an extra thing that the defense has to worry about. Where Jimmy G is kind of like a statue, and if he does get out of the pocket, he gets lit up.
I personally think in my picks, I'm doing Bengals and Eagles. I think the Eagles they're the deepest team, strongest team at every level, defense, offense, special teams. I think they're a scary team. They have speed on the outside with Devontae Smith. They have the go up and get it receiver of AJ Brown. They have multiple backs. They have Jalen Hurts, who's an absolute dog. And I think, at every turn in his football career, he was told no. He was told, you cannot lead us to a chip. You cannot lead us to a chip. And now he's going to go out and get the chip. I think he's a dog. And then for the Bengals, like Joe Burrow's that guy. In my opinion, I think Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in football. Maybe not a regular season. If I can finish a take before the little wimp talks behind a screen. But I think Joe Burrow, yes, his regular season stats is not as one of like Josh Allen, but I think when it comes down time to win, he does it and he gets it done. So yeah, that's my pick. And now, Chris, back to you.
No, I haven't really thought about it. I'll go. Just what? Give me the Bills. Whatever.
Yeah, someone had to not take the Bengals.
Bills versus who, Chris? Come on, it's 2 teams.
Bills to beat the Niners.
All right.
I have to say that
I don't
the
think
one seed in the AFC is going to be tremendously important, especially having to go into Buffalo in cold weather. That's something not a lot of teams could do.
I don't think we should let Mike get away with that take he just said.
Yeah, I have to disagree with that too. Consensus number 1 quarterback in the league is Patrick Mahomes. It's not even close. It's not even what he does on a game-to-game basis. It's so great we don't even realize it anymore.
Yeah, you gotta just.
Who did they just?
Burrow is the guy I would take in a play if we had to pick with my life on the line. I would pick Joe Burrow.
That's over Patrick Mahomes. That's such an awful take. Pat Mahomes
Burrow's got that dog in him.
So does Patrick Mahomes.
He's also the most profitable quarterback to bet on. His against the spread this year is 11-3, and in his career he's like undefeated in college playoff games and NFL playoff games against the spread. He's incredible.
In
big spots.
What was I gonna say? I would even take Josh Allen over Joe Burrow in a playoff game.
In a regular season game, not in a playoff game.
You guys are over. I'm not saying overrating, but Joe Burrow's.
I don't think you watched the playoffs last year. You definitely didn't watch the LSU playoffs when he was there.
No, I actually did, David, and I like Joe Burrow a lot. I just would rather Patrick. That's not absurd to say. I'd rather the best quarterback, the reigning MVP, and the guy that's going to win the MVP this year over Joe Burrow.
I just want to make a shout out. This is time for
Jalen Hurts is winning the MVP this year.
Hold on, David. This is the last thing we'll say, like before football. Before football ends, we go into baseball quick. I just want to give a shout out to one of our fans from someone who made a comment. Joe Josh Nichols 2 weeks ago. That James kid might be the biggest bonehead I ever heard speak.
See,
So,
Mike,
so
you say
James,
that, and what I said wasn't even boneheaded. If anything,
no,
That's Liam.
this is
Like, you know that, right?
this is not from
that's
from.
Liam Joyce.
That's
I don't.
Liam.
I look. That's one of our fans. Hey, look. That's not just Liam Joyce. That's one of our fans. Have some
Mike.
damn respect.
Mike, what I said wasn't even that crazy. Well, if anything, you said the boneheaded comment saying you take Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was the best quarterback in the league. Give me a break, man. You say these things, and it's just God.
Well, James, you could be the best player. Like LeBron's the best player we've watched play basketball, but I wouldn't take him over
That's
some
not
other
true.
guys in a big spot.
You just hate LeBron.
KG.
All right, Chris,
Um,
switch it up.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
getting James hot. James has his coach in 8th grade CYO game in about an hour.
Notre Dame
Luke's,
plus 11
Luke's
and a
not
half.
playing.
Yeah, James, go
Luke's
ahead.
not playing.
Give out random high schools. Good job.
Shut up.
We're gonna
All right,
that picture. I just put
Yankees
up
Mets.
there's
We go like 15 more minutes here because I know.
All right, I'll
Um,
start.
Here we
Nah.
go.
James, you actually
Everyone
probably
get ready.
have
All
the
right,
least
let's
knowledge
do it.
here.
Let's get ready. Let's
No, I'm
ready for
starting.
Yankee boy. Come on, let's
James,
go.
you probably have the least amount of knowledge on this
I
topic,
literally
so we're gonna
just stop.
go ahead and start with myself.
Just stop.
No, Chris, let him go. We have 15
No.
minutes left.
No,
Both-
let me say what I have to say because, like I said in the group chat, I'm really the only one that understands baseball here.
We should do fantasy baseball.
Okay,
nope.
He's the best.
can I get into it, please? All right.
Sure.
I think now with signing Rodon, Yankees have the best starting pitching rotation in baseball. I really don't think it's. I mean, it's close, but I think I think the Yankees clear every other rotation.
Yeah, I mean they have guys like Clayton Kershaw, Walter
Oh
Buehler,
my God! Stop.
Walker Buehler,
Coming off a major
Julio
injury.
Is that a funny joke, James? Because we'll put that on the.
No, that was
It's a
just
good joke,
He
right?
was trying to make a point, and it was like,
Wait, James, I have a serious question. When the Yankees got Rodon, and then after they got Judge, what level of nude were you?
that's number 2 of the podcast. Anyways, yeah, I think they have the best rotation in baseball, and I think they're a Brian Reynolds away, hopefully, fingers crossed, away from being the best team in baseball. I think
Would
they
you
have.
Whoa!
trade Would you trade Jason
Ro-
Dominguez for?
Yes, I would trade everyone but Volpe for Reynolds easily.
Rodon gives me I just got paid, I'm gonna suck this year vibes.
He's literally DeGrom 2.0.
No, Rondon's gonna be a dog. He'll be.
I like Rodon.
Like,
I do like
again,
him,
like-
but I just have the feeling that he's gonna be bad next year. You know that stat, James, when players get paid a ton of money, the
You
next
can
year
say that
their
about any player.
level of play significantly dips.
Okay, I can say the same thing
It's like
for
Here we go.
Verlander.
Come on.
you can't say it for Verlander or Scherzer.
I just did. You could say that for any player that
They've
gets
been
signed.
doing
It's
it their whole
awful-
career.
I mean, you could look at that, but I think Rodon he was a top 10 pitcher in baseball this season.
Yeah, he was good. I like him. I wanted the Mets to get him, but they got David Robertson.
Do you think?
David Robertson,
who do you
I
think
love the guy. David Robertson is a bum.
Hey, he puts up great charity.
He's
He's going to be a good setup.
he's
The
a
Mets
bum-
had an
he's a bum now.
interesting offseason because they replaced a lot of guys at cheaper prices.
But would you say
to
this is
save-
my thing with the Mets? Would you say that they got better this offseason?
No, they stayed the same, but they kept their payroll kind of in check, like Steve Cohen in check.
But
I'm
they're not even
concerned
done.
about the lineup.
Like,
They didn't add to the lineup.
Well, they're
look,
getting Alvarez for a full season at catcher. Hopefully, getting full seasons out of Scherzer and Verlander.
They're not
and,
going to full
the
season
guy they
out of
signed.
those two. No
what
way.
did you just say?
Based
Can
on
you
what?
stop chewing and make a freaking sentence?
You're not getting a full season. They shouldn't pitch them the full season because they need them in the playoffs. You saw what happened to Max in the playoffs,
Verlander just pitched a full season and pitched
and he sucked.
into the
And he
World
sucked in the
Series.
playoffs.
Here we go, Yankee boy. Let's go.
Look at the fucking stats, Mike. That's like, you're such a joke.
I was there. I
Oh my
know.
God.
I know what happened.
Obviously
why
you
you getting
don't
so
know.
sensitive, bro?
Because you're
Why
annoying,
you
bro. Like, God.
Why are you getting so sensitive?
The only signing this offseason for any team that made me like double take or triple take actually and say like, what are they doing? Was
Go ahead.
Correa for 350?
13
That makes
years.
he's he's had 1 year where he hit over 300. He's had I
Average.
think
Cheating year.
only a handful of years where he hit over 20 home runs. Like why does he get 13 for 350?
That has to be it.
That's
Just
not
for the
even.
ticket
That's
sales.
not true. I like Correa. I wanted the Yankees to get him last year. I think it's a good deal for the Giants. They gotta turn that franchise around, get that guy, and they got him now. Correa's a five-tool player. He's a leader, clubhouse
Why
president.
why do the Giants have to turn their franchise around, James?
Carlos?
Because they haven't really, they've been mediocre. Even at a 100-win season, they 100
Oh yeah, they've only won 3 World Series in the past
and
12
they haven't
years.
done
That's
it.
like nothing compared to the Yankees.
David, if you look at their roster, they're a bunch of old guys, and that season in 2021 was the biggest fluke I've ever seen in my life. Literally every player was insane. Buster Posey was an MVP candidate and then retired the next year. He saw the
Would
ship
you
come down.
include Would
Um,
you include Gleyber Torres in a deal for Reynolds?
Yeah. If we could, but then he's got value too, so I'd want to keep Oswald or Dominguez.
Glaber's bad.
No, Gleyber's solid, but without juice baseballs next year, because of course the Yankees were
Yeah,
uh, given an advantage. I don't know how good he'll be.
because that's the Yankees who makes the baseballs. It's not my fault. MLB's smart and knows where money is.
Does that mean that Judge's uh, home run record has an
No,
asterisk?
he hit just as many home runs away than he did at home.
Uh,
James, you walked right into that one. I'm gonna be honest, you walked right into that.
And
You
I
walked
just said
right.
I just said no because he hit just as many home runs away than he
All
did
right,
at home.
my turn. I feel collectively, but differently, the Mets and Yankees did the quote unquote same for their teams respectively. The Mets brought back players in which they needed. Like Nimmo was a guaranteed need, leadoff hitter, gets on base, great center fielder. Um, they bolstered their bullpen with Raleigh or Rainey, whatever his last name is, Robertson, and signed Diaz. Um, I also think they're not done, but I my biggest question mark with the Mets is actually something I agree with James with is the age of their two starting pitchers, and also the Japanese pitchers are literally the definition of 50-50. They're either great and have a pitch that you can't even look at, or they will give meatballs up and people will hit them to the next borough over.
They got a good deal for him though.
They did, but it's still it's still worrisome for me. I don't feel like they're done. They're looking at like DH bets because I don't think Vogelfat is gonna
Huh.
um, be that dude in the DH spot. Um, and I think the overall play is for Otani. I don't. That's not saying that I think that they're going to get him, but I think that's going to be like the play. He said that he wants to win no matter what. Would he like to stay West Coast for obvious reasons? Absolutely, but he said the winning is no matter what, and the Mets GM was the one that brought him to the Angels. So we'll see.
I think
That's my
Otani's the
take.
Dodger.
I don't think
But
we talked about Degrom.
I think Jake, end of his career, money payout. I mean, I feel Texas like none of the main Texas players, Simeon, Seager, and Jake has to be there, but I don't think they even play out their contracts. Like they'll be traded. Like that's just tickets and stuff like that. They have no chances to
I
win. Their
agree.
teams make
I
sense.
don't.
No, they're actually.
I don't respect the pick. I feel for the signing. I think he chose the money over everything else. Um, I mean, I haven't been a Mets fan for as long as people have since he was with the organization from the beginning. But from a Mets fan of about 2 years now, I don't like I don't like players who do that. Don't
I
respect it.
think the Rangers. I think are going to be good in like 2 years. They have a lot of their farm system stacked.
I
Really
mean,
good.
I mean, we'll see. See what happens because we'll see.
I think they're doing what the Padres did.
Again, like we'll see what happens. I don't think their timeline will match up with all these players that they have, the young players and the Simeons and Seagers of the world. I don't think the timing's gonna match.
Maybe.
But
One thing I do want to say about the Mets
here we go.
that
Let's bring it.
can I speak?
So out of pocket.
Is that I think JD Martinez is gonna end up there. I know a couple guys telling me that Mets are heavy on him, looking for a 1 year deal out of him. But yeah, and I think
Is one of those guys said Alfred?
no.
Chris, can that count as like a joke for James that one of his sources?
I have sources.
He claims he does. He tweets out every single MLB signing about a minute after.
Like the main person does?
To be fair, that's pretty much what John Heyman does now too.
You like John Heyman, all right?
John Heyman's a bum.
John Heyman's a bum. So is Jeff Passan. That guy sucks.
No, I like Jeff Passan. I don't like John Heyman anymore.
James, what is your takes? We haven't talked about this. Takes on not Aaron Judge, but Arson Judge. What's your take on him?
That almost killed me when I saw that. But thankfully I was in a controlled space.
James' Twitter handle is best sports news reporter on Long Island.
Find one better.
Is that yours?
That's honestly one of the most creative sports handles I ever heard.
So moving on to another topic, what do you guys think of Max Verstappen saying that he's gonna leave F1 after
David,
his
stop.
contract
Stop.
in 2020?
The only F1 driver I know is Lewis Hamilton, and I think he's like the oldest man alive.
No, he's not.
No.
But he's the greatest of all time, I think.
I think Max Verstappen is a dog. I think he's the
We're
GOAT.
not talking about F1. We're not doing it. So
Hurtful, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, well,
I think,
Chris, wrap it up.
I think that's a good. That's a good place to stop. Next week we got to bring a guest on. And Bobby really let us down. He's not welcome back.
no,
I want Doublefoot. Shout out to Doublefoot. I want Doublefoot's.
I've never seen what that kid
Minute.
looks like.
Fantasy Minute for Doublefoot. Fantasy Minute. That's what I want.
He's the reason I quit the sleeper league.
I think he's fun.
I
I
love
talked to
Doublefoot.
him.
Shout out Doublefoot.
Yeah, I like talking to him too. Yeah, shout out Doublefoot.
We
I would.
should do
Doublefoot is single-handedly ripping apart the league, like underhandedly.
I'm taking him down this year. Who are you playing in the playoffs, Mike?
Bob,
Don't sleep on me.
Oh, I hope you.
I'm
I hope
sleeping on you.
No, you shouldn't.
You
traded Jameson Williams for Javante.
wait, hold on. Everyone who watches, make a comment. I made a trade to James, right? Javante Williams and Gabe Davis for the first overall
for
pick.
Bijan Robinson.
Right. For Bijan.
And I left
James offered me Cam Akers and a third round pick for Javante Williams. Everyone, I want you to say who won. Michael won or James won. That's what I want you to comment.
I'll create a poll.
Whoever watches this, all right?
Wait, what was the trade you accepted? Jameson Will. You traded Javante and Jameson for the first round pick? For the first overall pick?
No, I wanted to.
And I left in his face.
No, well, James, your offer seems kind of shitty.
No, my team is going to be good next year. I have 5 picks.
All right. I have 3/3.
Next week we should do an NBA preview since it's almost Christmas. That's when the NBA season starts.
Yeah. So NBA preview. The Knicks are literally the definition of a 500 team.
They're on a 6-game
winning streak.
What?
They're on a 6-game
win streak. They're on.
No, they are, and when they play well, they play well. They're a hard, gritty team.
Jalen Brunson.
They're a great team. I love the Knicks. They're awesome, and the Rangers are awesome as well. But I do also feel that the NBA doesn't have that like gravitational pull for me this year. I mean, I feel like it's just kind of like no one's really taken that leap. Like even the teams that are playing well, the Bucks, the Grizzlies,
Well,
even
the
like
Celtics
these.
are.
Right. I mean the Celtics, but it's not like front page news. So it's like
They lost to Orlando in Boston last night.
I think
I
that's
agree.
I
The
just
NBA
don't
just
think
hasn't
I
been.
just don't think it's a good product anymore. Like the old when we were younger and they were playing like defensive games and only one or two teams would average 100 a game. That was good basketball. This is just like it's too easy.
I agree.
I could
College,
average 10, I think, in
college
an
is better.
NBA game.
oh for sure, David. David, I'll put money on that.
When was the last time you scored 10 points? Oh, what was your? We should track your stats too for your work league.
I went
What did
in
what
our
did you?
first game of our championship run this year. I went 1 for 1, only one shot because I'm a team guy.
Go ahead.
Three points because it was a 3-pointer in the corner. Had a
Yep,
couple turnovers. Admittedly, it wasn't a good start to the game, but we
that's
have a
right.
good squad. Your
That
friend
league's
Devon joined in
that league's
and
e-
played very
Devon's
well.
on your team? Did he play?
Devon went and played very well.
that league's easy.
Not really. They're
James.
very good teams. There was one guy on the other team had to have played like cornerback or safety in college. His hands were so good. It was like Sauce Gardner. Like he would be beat. He would be beat and just punch the ball out of the person who caught its hand. It was perfect. Very good player.
Go ahead, James.
I'm stoked for our tournament run.
Guys.
I'm excited to see how you play because the past few times me and Mark have watched you in Tavner, it's been pretty bad.
Yeah, I know.
It's been pretty bad.
Here, James, how about you give up the location to YouTube and say where we'll all be
If
at a
anyone
certain
wants to come and
location?
watch, I'd love that.
We
I'm
like
not
hate
gonna
our
say it.
guts.
I'm not gonna say it because it's a children's school, but
You already said it though.
okay, yeah, way to tell them. I mean, yeah, I'm stoked though. I think I'm excited. I played well the other day, so
Sure you did.
I did.
Um,
Fingers crossed.
all right, yeah, James. Good luck at your crapshoot of a basketball game today.
Take my boys
Let's
plus
see how that
11 and a
goes.
half.
Can't
How did your two
do it out.
essays and final for theology go?
Good.
Oh yeah, James was hot about that on Twitter.
I'm looking at
Wait,
3.85.
Chris, can you do me a favor and just plug James's Twitter again?
If I just screenshot James's Twitter on I was scrolling James's Twitter just now. I didn't see
I'm doing the
any
same thing actually.
crazy takes. They seem pretty
Wait,
mid
wait,
about an
wait,
attendee leaving.
David, find another funny one about Jimmy John's for real.
It's Jersey
I
Mike.
don't think he's had I don't think he's had anything like that, but it's just a lot of he's confirming Ken Rosenthal's report that Christian Vasquez went to the Twins. That's good.
Wait, David. Next week, weekly tweet update from James, brought to you by David. That comes right after David's World Cup minute. All right,
Yeah.
All right,
go ahead, Chris, lock us up.
all right, yeah. Do you guys want to like figure out a night we could do this? Do you have like a consistent night, Mike, or no?
Not anymore.
Yeah. Me and James are done with school now. So I guess we'll check the Rangers and Knicks schedules and
You
then
guys want to get tickets? We're probably gonna have to do this very early in advance because of how how quickly they're gonna go. But when Brittany Griner comes to MSG to play the Liberty, we should probably buy those now, right? It's gonna be a hot ticket.
yeah.
It's a big deal. We get to watch her play basketball again.
David.
When, one
David.
sec, I'm just looking up what team she plays for. But
The Phoenix Mercury.
what?
The Phoenix Mercury.
Oh, Phoenix. Yeah, when the Mercury come to town, we should definitely get tickets. You think the guy, the Merchant of Death will be there?
Oh my God. No one say anything.
That would be. I mean, they got traded for each other, so that's like.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Oh man.
we're good. We're good there. All right. So we'll figure out another day. We'll figure out our guest appearance as well. All
Double
right.
foot.
All right. See you boys.
Signing off.
Peace.
Yeah.